Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 9 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Be truthful with yourself. When you're truthful with yourself, you start to see everything as it is, not the way you want it to be. The wounds in your emotional body are covered by the denial system. When you look at the wounds with the eyes of truth, you can finally heal those wounds. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow Industrials up 16, NASDAQ up 26, S&P's up 3.5, gold contract down $12.10, trading out at $1,406 an ounce. Silver down 53 cents, trading at $23.86 an ounce. Platinum off 17 at $1,519 an ounce. Copper, copper got smoked. Down 6 pennies, trading out at $3.23 a pound. Light sweet crude off $2 at $107.97 a barrel. Bonds up 17 ticks at 133 flat. King dollar, wide price spread, accelerated volume up 530 ticks at 81.99. She's going to make the run for 85. Euro crushed down 95 at 132.44, and the yen up 62, trading out at 98.25. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, what do you have? Get to a price point out here of 1646. You close out at 1639. You get the small ABC inside the much larger one. What we did out here today, folks, is that you did 508 million shares going at the 683. Couldn't hold price also. So where's that setting up? That's setting up for your cash S&P to run down to this 1588. Now, you got to remember, we're coming into Friday, long weekend. What I expect you're probably going to see, well, being a bear, I want to actually see a sideways move, let it go test these highs again. I do not want this to go after the B point tomorrow, because I suspect, you see, what you have here is this. When you have a small ABC structure inside a larger one, the probability that you're going to get the larger one, the price projection goes up dramatically, and that's how it's set up right at this particular point. Dow Industrials. We take a look at the Dow Industrials. What we have with the Dow is this. Dow Industrials do the same deal. Dow got to a price point today of 14,960. Couldn't handle the price. Closes at its low. Well, you know, up $16. That's at its lows. Small ABC structure inside the larger one. Nasdaq Composite, and there's harmony, folks, all over the marketplace. As I go through all these, you're going to see what I'm talking about. The Composite. Now, this is really cool what the Composite did. The Composite, folks, got over the downdraft from the 27th. And the high of that 27th was 26.29. We got to the 36.29 rather. We got to a 36.35, gave it up, closed at 36.20, did 1.3 billion versus 1.6. So you had a failure there too. So now check this out. Let's go over to the bond market. What do we have with bonds? Bonds, folks, are in the ABC structure on the way up. This is pretty cool. So check this out. 30-year bond. What does it do? The 8-point on this is $129.28. 129.28. It came off that bottom, and as it came off that bottom, wasn't bad. Had 2 signs of strength. The signs of strength got it up to 133.15. We did that with 625,000 contracts. We pull back today with 415. We reject lower price. We do it in light of volume, and guess what? It starts pushing right into the 133 level again. Now, the high out there is that 133.13. So it's a small ABC structure on the way up. And I suspect even the bond market, I'd rather not go after it tomorrow. We'll see how this shakes out. But bottom line is that looks to me like we're going to have some real action topside. Let's go take a look at the 10-year TYU2. So, TYU3. TYU3, 2013. Okay. The 10-year. The 10 years at 125.13 right now. She set up the same way, too. This is pretty cool. So check out what she did. She went from 124 last week, gets up to 125.28, Pulls back today, lighter volume, rejects lower price, does it with lighter volume. She's also going to go after the B point. So the 10-year set up right now to go to 126.21, and the 30-year, we take a look at that 30-year. The 30-year, it looks to me like we're at 133, and that baby is next leg up is set for 136. King Dollar. We're going to take a look at King Dollar. Now, we've been talking about King Dollar, what had happened, and this is so cool, folks. You can just watch how this shakes out. So, King Dollar, refused to basically break its swing point. And that swing point we're referring to goes all the way back to the 19th of June. Well, that's where we had taken off, went up to the top of the consolidation, did it with volume, with force. We pull all the way back down with lighter volume. Then what do? We get to the bottom of that consolidation, and it can't break it. Tries to break it down, can't break it down. We have a nice expansion up. The expansion up that didn't hold price, and we've been talking about this quite a bit, was on the 22nd. On the 22nd, you got to 81.95. You did it with 34,000 contracts, but it didn't hold price. When you do that, whether it's highs or lows, folks, you go right back up and test it again. Doesn't mean you have to break it, but you go right back up. It was short-term bearish, longer-term bullish. Well, guess what? Today, we blew that away. Today, what happens is the dollar index goes to 82.27. You do 41,000 contracts. What does that set up? That sets up $85. That's how that's shaken and baking. We go over the euro. The euro goes just the other way. What you have with the euro is that the euro came down and, basically couldn't handle the highs up here. The highs that we're talking about that it couldn't handle was the 134.16. It had been hanging up there for a good week and a half, too. Well, that little baby came down and came down with conviction. That's how it came down today. Gold market. Let's go over and take a look at gold. What we have with gold is this. Gold market out here, she backed down with 141,000 contracts. And what I expect you're going to see here, and by the way, she's backing down. She's backing down with light volume. What I'd love to see here is that, we get a Friday, and Fridays in the gold market now are dangerous, actually. But she's got plenty of room to move down without getting destroyed. We're at 1406. I expect in this pullback, you're going to see somewhere around, you can see 1330, which, that's a heck of a pullback, but that's not a big deal in the gold market. And I expect that's exactly what we're going to see. Now, let's go over to that oil market. So we had with oil yesterday, that's CLV3. Okay, so CLV3. Oil. What we did with oil is this. Oil today comes down on 228,000 contracts. Let's see if we hit that high. Yeah, okay, this is pretty cool. This is saying it's going to go after this high again. So the high of yesterday was at 112.24. That was 336,000. That's pulling back with lighter volume. So this oil deal, even though it came down today, that's saying that, hey, guess what? That spike is not over yet. That's what it comes down to. Let's go to Tom in Chicago. Hey, Tom, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. You having a good day out there?
I am. It's nice and sunny and enjoyable, so that's always a good thing.
That's perfect, man. What are we going to look at?
Well, I was wondering what your thought was in terms of entry point on SRTY. If it's,
let's take a look.
Pullback is light enough on volume.
Okay, so you get SRTY. This is the ProShares Ultra Short Russell 2000. Now, this is the 300% inverse correlation of the Russell 2000. The low out here is 15, the high is 47. This is for the year. Okay, so, interesting. Okay, so we're at 1657. Let me bring up the IWM for a second. We'll take a look at the IWM. So the correlation here, this is nice. So this is good. I see it. Interesting. So the IWM, you know what? Man, I'm glad you're calling on this. The entry is probably going to be tomorrow. You know, the way this is set up, folks, when we look at the IWM, so check it out. The IWM, it had a high of 105.63. Made the high with 14 million shares. Comes off the high with 50 million shares, goes back up and tests with 23 million shares, comes back down again with 47. We did 27 today. What you'd love to see here is that you'd like to see the IWM get into like 102.77, so about another 70 cents, right?
So like fill the gap there?
Yeah, and you just stay there, and we'll finish this up as soon as we come back. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. We had the Dow finish up 16. NASDAQ up 26. S&P's up 2.5. You stay right there, folks. We'll come right back.